So it's said that humans are a creature of amnesia. That we don't always remember the lessons, the valuable lessons that we learned in the past, and that's where a lot of times history repeats itself. And I remember one time hearing from this brain scientist who wrote all kinds of books on the brain and everything, and he studied and found about how our memories can actually be very dishonest. And that our memories can play tricks on us and can alter events and scenarios from the past for various different reasons. Sometimes to protect ourselves or to help us heal from different traumas or whatever, and also sometimes so that we can become better storytellers. We may slightly alter the event or something that happened in the past so that we can become better at telling the story. And over the years and decades, that event, from slightly altering it every time, kind of like a telephone game, the scenario, the situation, the memory could be totally dishonest from how it really did happen, and that's why humans are a creature of amnesia. And so that's why I've always been a big journaler, and I was actually a journaler way before I even knew any of that. But for some reason, I just grew a liking to journaling, and in fact, I've journaled just about every single day for over 20 years now. I started journaling when I was in about fourth grade, and paper journals I still have. This whole box here, in fact, is filled with paper journals. It's crazy. This box weighs so much. I have so many journals in here. Journals all over the place, just filled with entries. And I've journaled, like I said, 1 to 5 or more entries every single day for over 20 years now. I have skipped some days, but probably made up for them in the days that I've done multiple entries. Like today, I did 3 journal entries just today alone. I used to do most of my journal entries just on paper, but now I do most of my journaling. I've used different cloud-based journals over the years, but I like Evernote, so that's what I use. I create a new note for every single journal entry. And I like that for a lot of different reasons. But I still use a Moleskine journal as well. I go back and forth, but I like having it cloud-based so that way I can journal wherever I am. If I'm on the go or something or whatever, I can just quickly create a note and journal and have it with me. And it's really easy to scan through and find notes and journal entries from the past, having it as cloud-based. But there is something magical about connecting pen to paper. And that's why I do like good old-fashioned paper journal as well, because they're just, I don't know, can't explain it. There's just something magical about connecting pen to paper. So I want to share about some of the benefits from journaling, because I've been journaling for so long now. It's been one of my most favorite habits. I'm so glad that I've gotten into the habit of it because it's so fun. And one of the biggest benefits of journaling, and now that it's been decades that I've been journaling, is that it allows me to see patterns in my own life, where I can, because we are creatures of amnesia and we can forget. I can go back to certain, depending on how I'm feeling or whatever, I can go back to certain times in my life, and I can identify and see what things that I was doing in my life at that time to feel a certain way. So say, for example, I'm just not feeling as fired up or motivated or happy about life. I'm human. It happens to everybody. Sometimes, we just go through different things. And without having records of your own life in journals, it can be, sometimes you can just get so lost and in a dark place where it can be hard to, because of, the enigma of our own mind, it can be hard to crack the code. And I'm sure some of you guys can relate to this, where, sometimes you can be in such a dark place mentally, for whatever reason, that it can be hard to figure out how to get yourself back to that happy place, to that energetic, that motivated, that happy place. Maybe you went through something tough, like an emotional situation, a breakup, or whatever. But if you've done it in the past, you can do it again. And because, I've been through a lot of really difficult things in my life and was journaling all throughout them, it's neat now, because when I am in a tough time or something, I can go back and I'll pull out my journals and I'll go back to those times when I was going, and I'll see, and I will just read through entry after entry and figure out what I did. How did I pull myself out of that rut, and how did I get myself back to that fired up and excited and energetic place? And everybody's different, but for me, I can kind of see what it is that I was doing at certain points in my life to reignite the fire. And for me, it's really interesting, and it's been a lifesaver to be able to go back and, oh, okay, all right, that's how my brain works. It's like I know how the enigma in my mind works. I can figure out how to recreate the pattern. And I know what it is now about me. And I can also, a lot of different, sometimes, have you ever had it where, you dated someone that was trouble, and, it was like you knew that they were bad for you, you break up, you don't talk to them for a long time, enough time goes by, and all of a sudden, sometimes you may forget about the drama and things that they brought up in your life, and if all of a sudden they pop back up into your life, and you've forgotten about all the pain and agony that they brought into your life, you can end up going back to them. So by having a journal entry, remember, this is another way, and I'm not talking about just for dating as well, but various different habits that, I've had in my life that I've gotten away from, or people in my life that brought pain and different types of darkness into my life. I'm able to go back and read in my journal entries about times when I was experiencing this person or situation or thing, and then realize the darkness that either this habit or this person or this situation or event brought into my life, and be like, oh, okay, now I remember why I don't want to go back down that road, because I remember, what the pain and agony that they brought into my life. And so that's been another great benefit by being an avid journal keeper. I'm able to go back and I'm able to see, how I felt and the different things that happened when I went down a certain road. Like, all right, I'm gonna call you. I'm able to see, different things in my life and be like, all right, you know what? That's not something that I want to go back down that road again. Another great benefit to journaling, when you get in the habit of it, it's a good way to express yourself. There's not many people in our life really, sad, but kind of care about what's going on in your life. A lot of people, I do coaching, I do one-on-one coaching with people, and I know sometimes it's kind of like, I feel like people are paying me just to listen to them. And I can understand why, because so few people take interest in your life, ask you, truly be interested in you, what it, your boss doesn't care and ask you about what you're working on in your personal life or what's going on with you. You come home, your husband, wife doesn't ask you, they don't care about what's going on with you, and it can be like, you're taking care of your kids, everything, and no one's really genuinely interested in you and your life. And so sometimes it can be, you go out with your friends and then they just want to talk about themselves, and everybody just wants to only care and talk about themselves. And so having a journal is a great way to express yourself and be able to just let it out. So I got a call and I disconnected this right in the middle of this video, but like I was saying, journaling is also a great way to be able to express yourself, and for someone that can finally listen, it's your journal. I know many times I do journal entries as if it's like my journal as a person. I'm like apologizing to my journal for not writing for like a couple days, as if it's like a girlfriend or something. Oh, I'm sorry, I haven't written in a couple days. So it's a great place to be able to express yourself. Another great thing about journaling is it's a great place to store your ideas. Again, humans are creatures of amnesia. So, you may have $1 million idea, and if you don't write it down, we all know it's just like as good as gone, basically. And that's why by journaling, it's a good place to keep those ideas. So, I have it all the time, where I'll get up in the middle of the night and I'll go write down some notes in my journal. Or throughout the day, I use a Moleskine journal. That's what I love. I'll just write down some notes in here. And it's cool because then over time you can go back and you can scan over different days, weeks, months, years, and you can see the different ideas, the things that were brewing in your head. And sometimes you can get new ideas, but going back to your old journal, oh wow, I totally forgot about that. So it's a great place to be able to, just to log ideas. Another great thing about journaling is just keeping a record of your life. It's the story of your own life, and it's so it's just so neat to be able to go back over your life and just to kind of see different things you were going through. I don't know, maybe I'm just weird in this or crazy, but from time to time it's kind of cool. I'll just go back, maybe times that I was like dead broke, struggling, and just to read it like a book, like a story, like, wow, okay, cool, like, geez, this is what I was going through, and then all of a sudden fast forward, see how I recover, or go back to when I was a kid, what I was writing about and excited about coming home from school as a kid, or reading about getting into trouble and adventures of my high school days or college days or whatever. And it's just kind of fun to be able to go back throughout your life and to be able to look at the different things and kind of see how you have evolved as a person. So it is neat for that purpose. I highly recommend it. I think journaling is such a great thing that everybody should do. You can just journal. You can journal using a good old-fashioned paper journal. You can journal using online cloud-based, or you can kind of do both like I do. Don't make it too complicated. If you don't have a paper journal, then just start doing an online journal. There's tons of free ones online, or you can download Evernote like I use, and you can just create a new note for every single day and just type in whatever you want. Doesn't have to, there's no official outline for how you have to do a journal. Whatever you want to write about, even if it's a sentence, a couple paragraphs, or like a book long, it doesn't matter. Nice thing about doing online cloud-based as well is you can add things in. You can add pictures, documents, videos, audio clips. Sometimes I'll add an audio clips into it or whatever, websites or something, depending on what you're thinking about or something. So, but there's no official outline or way that you have to journal. You just journal whatever you want. I like to a lot of times write about, this is kind of what I do, and again, you don't have to copy what I do, and how I journal is always evolving and changing, but a common theme that I'll do is I'll just kind of, I like to write, what I'm grateful for. I'll write down something that I'm grateful for. I'll write down, if it's, from journaling near the end of the day, I like to write down what I'm most proud of accomplishing for the day. If I accomplish some really, important tasks or assignment, I like to, just kind of briefly write down what it is I'm proud that I'm accomplished. Or sometimes I won't even do either. I won't write down what I'm grateful for or what I'm proud that I've accomplished, but I'll just write down, I'll just write about what my thoughts are, how I'm feeling emotionally for the day, maybe things that I'm worried about, things that I'm thinking about, things that I want to accomplish, goals, experiments that I'm experimenting on myself, whether I'm fasting or whatever. If I'm experimenting with a different new supplement or something, how I'm feeling, or whatever, new businesses I'm into or something. So, but, whatever, just write, don't make it a big deal. I think the biggest thing is just to make it a habit. Journal every single day. Just do like one journal entry every single day. Don't, it doesn't have to be any special format. Even if it's just a sentence, you'll get better at it over time, thinking of what to write it. And over time, it's kind of cool. You'll be able to look back and you'll be able to see how you've evolved as a person. And you'll be able to identify different patterns in your life, find out what works for you and what doesn't. Like, hey, when I did this type of behavior or habit, it wasn't the best for me. And, when I did these types of things, then that was when I was most on fire and had the most juice and energy in my life. So that's, again, I think I kind of said this in the beginning about it, but that's one of my favorite benefits from it is being able to identify different patterns in my life, what habits and so forth that, when I did them on a regular basis would allow me to play at a level 10 on the most consistent regular basis. And then what kind of habits and how I behaved in a certain way is when I acted at the lowest level. And so I try more to emulate the habits that keep me playing high and emulate less of the habits that keep me playing low. But that's the benefit of having a journal, is you can identify that in yourself. Or without having a journal, you may totally forget about, different things, anchors that held you back in your life, or different, treasures that helped treasure golden habits that helped catapult your life forward. So, yeah, journaling has been awesome, and I highly recommend it. And I don't know what else to say. So start journaling, write an entry today, and start doing it every day. Just write a quick entry. Before you know it, you'll have a big box of books. All right, guys, until next time, have a great day, a great week, a great month, a great year. Let's make it a great life. See ya.